Michael St. John at ringside. Along with me, my broadcast partner, Paul Adams, here on Music City Wrestling. Paul, I've been involved now with Music City Wrestling for a little more than 6 weeks, and I have got to say that I have seen some of the wildest, some of the craziest action I have ever seen, and I have seen some of the brightest young stars in professional wrestling in several decades right here in Music City Wrestling today.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know me, Paul Adams, right here, Michael St. John, master of the obvious. Why do you think I'm here? Where else would I be when you've got all this stuff that's going on in Music City Wrestling happening right here in Nashville every week, and these fans at home get to see it coast to coast, week in and week out. It's action, 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 Michael.
Well, some of the top stars, the Colorado Kid, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Wolfie D, JC Ice, Shane Eaton, you name it, they are here in Music City Wrestling. They are here with one intent in mind. That's to win the gold and climb the ladder in professional wrestling. And you, my friend, continue to be a towel boy, if you would, in the world of professional wrestling, according to these fans, the finest fans in the sport, I might add.
Don't put a label on what you can't understand, Michael. Because I carry a towel, don't make me a towel boy. Because I've managed in the past, don't make me a manager. Because I stand here and am the master of the microphone every week with you, don't necessarily make me just a commentator. I'm Paul Adams. I'm an entity of its own, just like Music City Wrestling is unique.
Music City Wrestling is unique, and one thing is that the promoters are putting the best matches not only in the arenas but in the ring each and every week here on television. All the stars are put in there head to head. The fight is taking place in the ring. In fact, it's taking place on the floor, for that matter. Wherever it happens, and that's a credit to the promoters because that's what the fans demand in the 90s. This is wrestling for the 21st century. It's wrestlers going head to head, toe to toe in combat each and every week.
Yeah. And just like the people write in every week to our internet site, mcwrestling.com, they want to see ladies in action. They want to see midgets in action. They want to see blood and guts in the ring. They want to see issues settled. That's what they get here in Music City Wrestling, week in and week out. This week's no different.
Well, we've got a lot of scores to settle. There are a lot of fights going on. We were mentioning tag team. You've got tag team combinations of Doug Gilbert and Wolfie D. You've got Billy Joe Travis, the sweet music man, and Flash Flanagan, a man who's had a turn of senses, if you would, in the world of professional wrestling. You have the Centerfolds. You have the Shooting Stars. You've got great tag team wrestlers right here in Music City Wrestling, but you've also got some strong singles competition.
We've got a lot of stuff going on, Michael, and like I said, this week's no different. What's going to happen this week are fighting words. We got a lot of interviews on tap, and people are going to get to speak their minds here in Nashville and on Music City Wrestling this week.
Well, it's an open forum, as always, in Music City Wrestling. We have all the stars coming up here today. You're going to see in action some of the people that I just mentioned, some of the fine tag teams, but also you're going to have to listen to Paul Adams, and you've already picked out some of your quote-unquote favorites, which I don't agree with. I disagree with that attitude. You are to be a commentator, and don't revert back to your old manager ways. Just be a commentator on these matches for us today.
Your ignorance practically leaves me speechless, Michael St. John. I know the 411 in Music City Wrestling. That's why I'm here today to pontificate and speak my mind, just like all the top stars here in Music City Wrestling are going to do this week. Michael, if you can keep control of things, we're going to learn a lot today on MCW Wrestling.
We have a lot coming up, and as far as keeping control, I'll do the best I can to make things roll. We've got tag team matches coming up. We've got singles competition coming up, and just as you said, the wrestlers will be allowed to speak their piece. I know we've got some very important interviews and some things that need to be said will be said, and hopefully some issues will get settled today right here on Music City Wrestling. We're getting ready to get everything underway right now. Paul Adams, if you will join me at the desk, we'll get the wrestlers out here. We'll get everything underway. Let's get to the matches right here on Music City Wrestling right after these messages. Welcome into this edition of Music City Wrestling. Michael St. John with Paul Adams opening things up with Stephen Dunn returning to Music City Wrestling against Killer Kyle, an outstanding star at one time in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, now coming into MCW, the hottest wrestling program on the air today. and the wrestling program geared at the 21st century. Paul Adams, we have quite a match to open things up today.
Absolutely, Michael. You see Stephen Dunn, this is his debut in the ring for Music City Wrestling. He was out here last week talking about how he's ready to face all comers, and I got to admit, I kind of like that attitude. He's not playing favorites. He's here to make a name for himself. He's challenging guys like Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Wolfie D, as well as guys like Billy Joe Travis. He's got no friends in this organization, and he is here to rise straight to the top.
Steve Dunn with an illustrious past, at one time Rookie of the Year in professional wrestling a few years back. Had quite a tag team known as Well Done. Made their names known in WCW and around the world. Wrestled very extensively in Japan and also in the Samoan Islands. And right now, Steve Dunn backed into the ropes by Killer Kyle. Kyle is a tough customer. He is getting a blessing of fire or a workout with Killer Kyle in this ring, because Kyle can hold his own with any wrestler any organization has.
Absolutely, Michael. And just to show you what kind of a man he is, how tough he is, he was once the bodyguard for Jim Cornette, and to guard that body, you got to be double tough.
Drop kick by Dunn, caught him at the side of the face. There's another one off the side of the face, and Killer Kyle goes to the floor, seeking the refuge and the safety of the floor here at the Music City Wrestling Arena at the State Fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee. Boy, what a card, what a lineup we have on television today, plus an outstanding card coming to the Fairgrounds Arena Thanksgiving night. Have a little turkey, have a little dressing, have a little cranberry sauce, and top it off with a dessert of Music City Wrestling. 11 big matches on that card.
Absolutely, and I can tell you both of these guys are going to be vying to get on that card. We're going to hear more about the lineup later on in this program. But this guy, Stephen Dunn, you know he's going to want to be there. It's the biggest show so far for Music City Wrestling. And let me tell you something about this Stephen Dunn. You know, a lot of times you'll hear people talk about guys who are have made their names in tag team competition. A lot of times you hear people refer to Bobby Eaton as one of the tag team specialists, one of the greatest tag team competitors of all time. Stephen Dunn is exactly that, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he gets out here and performs as a singles competitor this week on Music City Wrestling.
Well, Steve Dunn had extensive training throughout the wrestling profession and grew up with the auspices of such tag teams as Steve Kern and Stan Lane. The fabulous ones. Also, the Fantastics were in the area. Steve was just beginning to come into his own as an amateur. So he watched these professionals work out in the ring, and as a result, you will see a lot of what Steve Dunn is in the ring, a combination of many wrestlers out of the early and mid-'80s.
Well, and we've talked before, Michael, how a lot of the greatest stars in the sport of professional wrestling have come from the area right here in central Tennessee, right around Nashville. And I think that's because a lot of the fans around here, they grow up seeing some of the greatest stars, a long line of stars that come from out of here. There's a great history here, and they grow up watching them, and they just have a natural feel for what professional wrestling is all about.
Well, these fans are not only some of the best-looking fans in America, these fans are very knowledgeable about the sport of professional wrestling, and they know a good wrestler, and they'll spot a good wrestler very quickly. And there you saw a nice trip down and a hammerlock now by Steve Dunn as he's got Kyle on the mat. Good place to have your opponent wear him down right there in the ring.
Well, especially when you're dealing with a large man like Killer Kyle. But I'll tell you what, you're talking about these fans. I don't like many of them, but you're absolutely right. They do respect the long heritage of wrestling in this area, and that's why they're all excited about coming to the fairgrounds this week for the Tennessee Homecoming. All those legends going to be honored this week at the fairgrounds Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, Michael.
Some of those legends include the tag teams of Don and Al Green, the tag team of Eddie Marlin and Tommy Gilbert, plus many other stars, Billy Wicks, Mac York, Paul Morton. The list goes on. An outstanding list of professional wrestlers that have made their name and will be enshrined in the Music City Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Tennessee Wrestling Hall of Fame, this weekend, or make that this coming Thursday night at the Fairgrounds Arena Thanksgiving night. And oh my goodness, did Steve Dunn go into that turnbuckle hard, and that whole ring shook as Steve Dunn went ramming into that turnbuckle. Kyle picks him up.
Right, Michael. What you're seeing right now, Kyle's taken over, and he's taken them over in the corner there just before with a couple of closed fists. Now he's just clubbering away on the man, just methodically wearing him down.
Kyle does not have the speed and the agility of a Stephen Dunn, but he certainly has the wrestling prowess and the power in that ring. He is a very powerful man. He can bench press over 400 pounds. And again, sending Dunn into the buckle, and oh my goodness, Dunn backs out of the way. Bulldog, down goes Killer Kyle. And Steve Dunn, I'm surprised he didn't close in for a cover right there. Backs him to the ropes again, across the way. Caught him with a big elbow. Dunn just pounding the man. Now a reversal, duck under. Dunn off the ropes, duck under again. Kyle a little slow to recover, catches him under the chin. 1, 2, 3, got the cover. very quickly, very methodically, Steve Dunn gets the victory. His reappearance here in Nashville, Tennessee, your home.
Fired up, and he's sitting right on ready. It's great to be in Music City Wrestling.
Oh, wait a minute. Look who's here. Look who else.
It ain't my old friend Dodging Steven Dunn. No wonder you would answer the phone, Steve. What's up with you, man?
Rex King.
Huh? Every time something good starts happening, you got your nose right in the middle of it, and you forget all about our partnership, right? We've been together how many years, Steve? Isn't it been 11 years, pal?
First off, back up.
Friend you are.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, don't tell me nothing.
About
It's
2
all
months
about
ago,
you, isn't it, Steve?
about 2 months ago in Memphis, Tennessee, you were trying to put me out of wrestling. Why should I pick up the phone and call you? You tell me that.
I'll tell you that because we're partners, brother. We go deeper than all that crap. We fought up. How many times we fought going up and down the highways? Huh? You think about it.
Hey, if you got a problem with that, you need to talk to the promoters. Don't talk to me.
Well, look, I tell you, this is the way it goes. I come here to get a job because I'm every bit as good as you are.
We'll talk to the promoter. Get
And I
Bert
feel
Bennett
like
or somebody
I
out here.
deserve it. Yeah, where is that fat pig anyway, huh?
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's settle this the right way. You guys are former partners.
You're right up his butt, aren't you, boy? You're just like when we were in the WWF. You were right up Pat Patterson. You were right up Vince McMahon.
Hey, the only thing that's got you screwed up in this business is that psychopathic attitude you got. That's what's burned your britches, son.
Well,
nobody's got you out of a job but you.
Well, the confrontation, obviously a little problem before. Holy cow! What is this? Obviously a problem that is escalating here, right here in our Music City Wrestling Arena, as Rex King going after his ex-partner, Steve Dunn. Let's take a break. Let's see if we can restore some order. One of those outstanding wrestlers in the Music City Wrestling organization today is this man right here, Wolfie D, part of PG-13. You've had your problems in the past with Flash Flanagan. I know you got a lot on your mind as to what's been going on around
As
here.
a matter of fact, Michael, there's been a lot of problems. First of all, Flash Flanagan takes me up to the balcony here a few weeks ago and tries to hang me by my neck. Then last Saturday night, I had to take on Billy Travis and Flash Flanagan all by myself because Doug Gilbert had transportation problems. But hey, Wolfie D ended up beating both of them at the same time. Now, I may have got my brains beat out in the process, but all that matters is there's a check in the win column for Wolfie D. Now, Flash Flanagan thought that was an opportunity to get on Wolfie D, and what he did was get right here in this ring. He put a table and gave me a power bomb right through the table. Now, as you can see, I don't have my wrestling things on tonight because I've been to the chiropractor. I've had back problems before, and by him hanging me and by him putting me through a table, he's inflamed one of the discs in the back of my neck. But that's not going to stop me because it's never stopped me before. And I'm looking very forward to this Thanksgiving night when I get to take on Flash Flanagan, because I know that when it's all said and done, one-on-one, Flash Flanagan.
Oh, holy cow, here comes Flash Flanagan. He came flying out of the dressing room. Wolfie D taking over on him, and Wolfie D going to town on Flash Flanagan, getting out of the...
That's what I'm talking about, people. One-on-one, Flash Flanagan cannot beat me. That's what I'm talking about.
Now look at this. Flash Flanagan comes out of nowhere with a ladder. Michael, what are you doing up there? Wolfie D ran him off, and now Flash is in there with a ladder.
I cannot believe what I just saw. Flanagan has come out. Where did he get a ladder? He's trying to break the man's neck. He just said he had problems with his disc problems in his neck.
I heard him.
Look at this.
Well, I'll tell you what, Flanagan came running right past the booth here, right into this closet here at the fairgrounds and found that ladder, just put it over Wolfie's neck, and if the disc were inflamed before, now here's Doug Gilbert.
Now Will has order restored. Flash Flanagan chased from the ring, headed back to the dressing room, but I'm afraid Wolfie D is seriously hurt in the ring as he took that ladder and he just literally scissored his neck with that ladder. Oh my goodness, and you can see Wolfie D in some kind of pain here. We've got a match scheduled with Flash Flanagan against Andy Anderson, but we're gonna have to take care of Wolfie D first.
Well, and Wolfie was just talking about how he's got an inflamed disc in his back, and if it's not even more severely damaged after that, my God, it has to be, Michael.
I've never witnessed that ladder being slammed on a man's neck, literally like a scissors. And Gilbert attending to him. We're gonna have to break and get this restored, or get some help to Wolfie D, and then get on with our matches. So we're gonna take this unscheduled break, and we'll be back momentarily.
On Thanksgiving night, November 27th, Music City Wrestling will present a holiday wrestling spectacular at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Don't miss the Tennessee Homecoming, Thanksgiving night, November 27th, only at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena.
Just in time for Christmas, it's the Music City Wrestling official t-shirt. For just $15, we pay shipping. Order today. The address is there on the screen. MCW Wrestling, Music City Wrestling t-shirt offer right here. $15, we pay shipping. Gorgeous royal blue on white. We have small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and 3XL. All $15, we pay shipping. Music City Wrestling t-shirt. Get yours today.
Michael St. John and Paul Adams back with you at the Music City Wrestling Arena. And quite frankly, Paul, I'm going to have to try to regain my composure after the seriousness of what we just had happen today on Music City Wrestling. They took the ladder out of the ring before they could get Wolfie D out of the ring. The ladder was busted. Wolfie D holding his neck and not really able to move his head fully. He did not have full dynamic range of the movement of his neck. And now the man that perpetrated this crime, if you would, in MCW, Flash Flanagan in the ring right now against Andy Anderson from Canada.
Yeah, well, we have the debuting Andy Anderson from Montreal, Quebec, Canada coming into Music City Wrestling this week. And my God, what's next, Michael? What's next, Michael? What's next, Michael? We have Stephen Dunn debuting this week. Rex King comes out in a big confrontation there. Then we have Wolfie D out for an interview. Flash comes out and takes a ladder from the back of the building, for God's sake, and goes in there and nearly maims the man, I guess. From what you're telling me, you were up close, you saw it better than I. What did it look like in there?
It was mayhem. And I mean, to have a man come flying at you, I mean, I saw him coming, and not that I wanted to leave Wolfie D unguarded, but I sure the heck didn't want to get slapped by that ladder, and he was just coming at him full force with that ladder. And then he pulled the ladder into the ring, pushed Wolfie D in the ring, and then took the ladder and scissored Wolfie D's neck in between the rungs of the ladder.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you see Flash in there. This Andy Anderson's getting the best of him right now. But you know Flash is an accomplished wrestler inside the ring. But look at the stuff he's been pulling around here lately, these stunts that he's got going on. He's taking guys up to the balcony of the arena here, throwing them off with a chain, choking them, hanging a man. Then he's going to the back of the building, finding a ladder. You'd think he was a custodian here in a past life or something. The man's out of control, and I love it.
Stephen Dunn, earlier in an interview, accused Rex King of being psychopathic. And I got news for you. It may be contagious in Music City Wrestling because Flash Flanagan, I think, is a little psychopathic himself.
Well, we were talking about Dunn and his tag team prowess, his experience in the tag team ranks, and there comes out Rex King, his former partner that he's probably gone farther with anybody else, and comes out and attacks him.
Well, that was quite a confrontation, but I must say I was not as surprised at that. They've had their differences of opinion before, but this situation between Flash Flanagan and Wolfie D has escalated to a point where it's almost it's almost criminal what's happening in and out of the ring between these two.
Exactly right, Michael, absolutely. And what you see right here is Flash's temper is getting the best of him. He's so psyched up. He is so intense over this Wolfie D situation that he's allowing this Andy Anderson to get the best of him in the early going in this match.
And that would make him prime for an upset, and boy, would that add some stars into the column of Andy Anderson if indeed he can pull that off today on MCW. And Flash Flanagan just trying to slow down the pace of the match, try to regain some composure, and look at this, he's offering to shake the hand of the young Canadian right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, you know, my calendar has had the 27th of November circled for several months because it's the Tennessee homecoming, Thanksgiving night, the Supercard here at the fairgrounds, and it looks like everybody else is geared up almost to the point that the intensity around here is peaking just days before that big event coming up.
And goodness knows what lies forth in that event Thanksgiving night right here at the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Right now, Flash Flanagan doing exactly what he has planned to do, slowing down the pace of the match and making Andy Anderson come to him to fight his fight. Referee Gene Johnson stepping in between them to try to break him up. I'll give the referee credit. Gene Johnson gets very active in that ring sometimes and will take matters into his own hands to maintain control in a match. And right there, you saw him do just that. Here's Anderson taken to the ropes and caught with the clothesline by Flash Flanagan coming off.
Absolutely, it looked like Gene Johnson got in between them there and snuck a little thumb to the eye of Anderson there, and it's allowed Flash to take over. Is that what, I think that's what happened. Wouldn't you concur?
Neck breaker right there by Flash Flanagan. I do not concur with the thumb in the eye theory. I would have to see a replay on that. And there you see Flash Flanagan going right at the cameraman, kicking at the neck. He has something about necks of people. Somebody, he must have saw a TV show or something where it talked about the vertebrae on the neck, because he is attacked now. Two men right in that volatile, very volatile position.
Maybe he saw that late night commercial for that Oriental pillow, whatever it is, where they drop the egg and the egg doesn't break except for the one. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I spend a lot of late nights. Well, I'm sorry.
And right now, Andy Anderson, the worst for wear in the ring, as Flash Flanagan just wearing him down. Puts him into the ropes, back body drop, here's a reversal, sunset flip, 1, 2, ho! And Flanagan kicks out, look at that.
And almost that near upset there, Michael, that you were talking about. Flash is focused, but perhaps it's a little bit more on Wolfie D than it is on this match at hand today on Music City Wrestling.
After this match, I'm going to attempt to get a word with Flash Flanagan, and I'll tell you, I'm not real thrilled about it because the man has been a little maniacal, if you will, since coming into MCW and since the start of Music City Wrestling. And right now, he is taking Andy Anderson to school in the school of hard knocks in the middle of the ring.
Well, I don't envy you having to go up there and conduct that interview, Michael, because you've definitely been in the hot seat so far this week. And if you don't watch, I'm telling you what, by the end of the show, I might go in the closet back here and get, I don't know, like a weed whacker or something, maybe the hedge clippers, and give you a real haircut.
Right now, Andy Anderson firing back after the ropes. There, he caught him across the chest, and down he goes. We want to remind fans in Middle Tennessee that tonight, Music City Wrestling comes to Lebanon, Tennessee at the National Guard Armory. Scheduled to be there, Wolfie D, the Centerfolds, Billy Joe Travis, and many more tonight at the National Guard Armory in Lebanon.
And I'll tell you what, Wolfie D is scheduled to be there. I assume, you know, judging by what the guy's like, he's not too intelligent. He's going to try and make his way to Lebanon tonight. And Billy Joe Travis is going to be in the building, and there's no love lost between those two either, Michael.
We'll try to get a report on the condition of Wolfie D from back in the dressing room momentarily. In the meantime, Andy Anderson catches Flash Flanagan with a big back body drop and goes in to pick him up and slam him down. Look at this, standing slam. Anderson quite strong, showing his propensity for putting a man up and slamming him down, going up top. He's going to take the air route. Flying press, rolls up Flash Flanagan. Flash reverses it, 1, 2, 3. He got the pin, but I believe his feet were on the rope.
Well, Michael, get up there and conduct that interview, and we'll see what you can find out by the state of mind of Flash Flanagan.
Before you get out of the way, Flanagan, I got to ask you what's going through your mind with this Wolfie D and bringing ladders into the ring.
Ladders in the ring? Wolfie D brought that to the ring. I don't need no weapons. As you all saw, I'm still the greatest scientific wrestler of all time. I beat that punk in the ring 1, 2, 3. But Wolfie D, if you want a ladder match with me, my friend, Thanksgiving night, well, I'll be more than willing and better than able to kick your butt one more time. You see, I don't scare you. Let me rephrase that again. I'm not scared of you. There's not one person in this building I'm afraid of. Doug Gilbert, he's come out and saved your butt one too many times. Why don't you come and do it on your own, Wolfie D? But you see, you can't do that. You want weapons and all that in the ring? Well, that's fine with me. You see, I can wrestle, I can fight, I can cheat just as good as anybody else can. But you know what the difference is between me and everybody else? Is I'm better than they are. Wolfie D, come Thanksgiving night, you're gonna find out why I say I'm the best, and we'll prove it.
Flash Flanagan giving his comments here on Music City Wrestling. Let's take this break. We'll be back with more action after this. Michael St. John, before we get back to our next match, I've got Stephen Dunn out of here. Steve, I've just been informed, big news Thanksgiving night
Rex
here.
King, let me tell you something, son. I guess you got your wish. Because I just talked to the matchmakers here. You got yourself a job, because Thanksgiving night, I got you right here in Nashville. Now, let me tell you something, son. You like running your mouth, and you like cheap shotting people. You gave me a little bit of black eye, you busted my nose up a little bit, big deal. It's been done before by a lot better men than you. But Thanksgiving night, brother, it's me and you. You got hired tonight, and Thanksgiving night, I'm giving you your notice right here in front of all these great fans, because I'm coming for a reason. That's to put you out of professional wrestling and send you packing.
What a lineup for Thanksgiving night Music City Wrestling at the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. And our first main event of our program today on Music City Wrestling brings in dangerous Doug Gilbert against Blade Boudreaux and Paul Adams. Have we seen action today or what?
I don't know. It's all leading up to this Thursday night, Michael, at the Fairgrounds. The Thanksgiving Supercard, the Tennessee Homecoming. The legends are going to be honored, and this guy you see in the ring right now, Doug Gilbert's in the main event. They're going to put up a scaffold 30 feet in the air, and him and Billy Joe Travis are going to try and throw each other off. You know what kind of injuries can be sustained in a match like that.
They've got to be crazy to sign the contract to get on a 30-foot scaffold to begin with. Dangerous Doug Gilbert, he takes his own life into his hands going up on that scaffold, and likewise Billy Joe Travis. And quite frankly, whoever falls may be losing another marble or two out of their skulls before it's over with.
And you were out there, you talked to Stephen Dunn, and he announced that he's got the match with Rex King coming up. Burt Prentice signed it. Burt's doing all kinds of things around here. He's thinking about the fans, and he's bringing them the first ever scaffold match ever in the history of Nashville wrestling.
And right now, dangerous Doug Gilbert really unloading on Blade Boudreaux, a youngster out of Memphis, Tennessee, picks him up, snap suplex, over he goes. And Doug Gilbert, relentless in his attack, dropping the leg across the face.
We have seen the intensity of the wrestlers around here. We have seen the intensity, and you can hear the intensity in the crowd. It's all leading up to Thanksgiving. There's a title versus title match. Southern Heavyweight Champion Terry Gold against the Colorado Kid, the North American Heavyweight Champion. All kinds of stuff, Michael. A tag team title match. It's going to be nuts.
Not to mention a ladder match between Wolfie D and Flash Flanagan. $1,000 bounty on top of a ladder. Oh my goodness. They fight for nothing just on the floor of our arena here on television. You can imagine what they're going to do with a ladder in the ring with $1,000 on top of it.
Trust me, I have a very vivid imagination, Michael, and I gotta say, you know, if I liked Wolfie D, I'd almost root for him so he could get $1,000 and get a decent pair of shorts to wear in these matches, but I don't like him, so I'm pulling for my boy, Flash Flanagan, in that one.
Doug Gilbert pouring it on Blade Boudreaux, dropping the elbow, and he should wrap it up right here. 1, 2, oh, Blade Boudreaux quickly got the shoulder up. A lot of spunk in this young man because he's taken quite a beating in that ring right now in this match from Dangerous Doug.
Well, you counted your chickens a bit before they hatched there, Michael. I would tell you never to assume because you know what it can do to you and me. which is basically what Doug Gilbert did to Blade Boudreaux right there.
Little super kick, chin music up underneath. And Doug Gilbert has his man down, but he's touting the crowd over there. The crowd throwing something into the ring. What'd they do, throw a lighter in there?
Well, things are heating up here, and there's a little symbol of exactly what things are like around here, Michael, and what things are going to be like this Thursday. I'm telling you what, in addition to the last half hour worth of action, all the intensity we've seen displayed in the ring here on Music City Wrestling, and right there by Dangerous Doug, now with the DDT, we've got about 5 other matches that would be main events any week here in Nashville.
And Doug Gilbert taking the attention over to the referee, saying something to the crowd, and Doug's gone over in the corner. He's got something. He's got something in his hands. Doug Gilbert, oh, he threw the fire right at Blade Boudreaux. He wraps him up. 1, 2, 3. Dangerous Doug Gilbert with some electrifying pyrotechnics in the ring. We'll take this break on Music City Wrestling.
On Thanksgiving night, November 27th, Music City Wrestling will present a holiday wrestling spectacular at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Don't miss the Tennessee Homecoming, Thanksgiving night, November 27th, only at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena.
Earlier in today's program, I was interviewing Wolfie D. We were rudely interrupted by Flash Flanagan. Is your neck okay? I mean, you took a heck of a beating.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, it don't feel too good, but then neither is anything else that Flash has done to me. So I knew I was going to have to take him on Thanksgiving night, but now I've asked for a match on Thanksgiving night. Since he wants to bring ladders, since he wants to bring ladders into the ring, I've got a great idea. I've been in quite a few ladder matches myself. I don't know about you, Flash Flanagan, but Thanksgiving night, how about we put $1,000 hanging right up there, and we have ourselves a little ladder match. And if you want to climb on top of ladders and slam people's neck on ladders, if you want to hang me from the balcony, if you want to choke the living life out of me, let me see you come and do it, big boy. Because Thanksgiving night, we're going to be right here in my hometown, and I'm going to have all of my people behind me, Flash Flanagan. And let me tell you something, punk. I'm coming to kick your... Come on and get it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a look at one of the most historic wrestling cards in the history, and I mean the long history of Nashville wrestling. 11 matches, Hall of Fame awards, everything's going to happen Thanksgiving night right here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena. The Thrillbilly will take on Blade Boudreaux. Style and Shane Eden in a grudge match against Derek King. You'll see J.C. Ice, Jamie Dundee take on Sheik Ahmed from Sudan. Canada's Andy Anderson will take on the WWF's DOA's 8-Ball. What a match that's going to be. Sherry Martel comes to Nashville to take on our own Princess D. Exotic Adrian Street with Miss Linda against Frenchie Riviera. And look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. The Shooting Stars going for the titles against the Centerfolds Thanksgiving night. A grudge match, ladies and gentlemen. This one is just brewing. Stephen Dunn against Rex King. And like I told you, there's 3 big main events this night. Main event number 1, title versus title. North American belt against the Southern belt. Colorado Kid taking on Terry Golden with Princess D in his corner. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's a special ladder match with a special referee, Jason Jarrett, when Wolfie D collides with Flash Flanagan in a ladder match. And that, you know, is brutal. And then the one, ladies and gentlemen, 30 feet in the air on a scaffold match between dangerous Doug Gilbert and Billy Joe Travis. They fight until one man falls off the scaffold. It's a scaffold match, and it's only in Nashville Thanksgiving night. Also, we will be inducting into the Hall of Fame Christine Jarrett, Jim White, Billy Wicks, Don and Al Green, Mac York, Herb Larson, Cora Combs, Paul Morton, Eddie Marlin, Tommy Gilbert, and a special memorial to Tojo Yamamoto. Don't miss Thanksgiving night. Be a part of wrestling history. With me now, ladies and gentlemen, Cora Combs, and this is our final edition of the Thanksgiving Update. So far, we've named 8 legends who will be here Thanksgiving night, who will be inducted into the Nashville Wrestling Hall of Fame. There you see their names at the bottom of the screen. And Cora, tonight we're going to name the final 4 who will be inducted into the Nashville Hall of Fame on the Night of Legends. Thanksgiving night is going to be such an incredible night. And you know, Cora, the first time in the history of Nashville wrestling, a scaffold 30 feet in the high in the sky. Yeah, a scaffold match with Doug Gilbert and Billy Travis.
Oh, man, that should be it. That should be it, huh?
Oh, that should just pack them out and standing room only.
See that myself.
I appreciate that. The first one that we're going to honor tonight, Mac York.
Well, Mac York is an old friend of mine. His wife told him one time, says, you spend more time on the road than you do with Cora Combs than you do home with me. And that's true, because we was booked all over together, and we rode together, and we're friends then, we're friends now. And he still lives here in Nashville.
Well, in the wrestling business, there's a lot of miles to do. I tell you, it's called paying your dues. Also, a great legend here that still lives here in Nashville, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and his dear wife Beverly, Herb Larson.
Yes, Herb come from Canada. He come down here, and he wrestled here a few years, and then he met Beverly, and that was it. He married Beverly. They bought a business, and they went in together, a business, and still is here in Nashville.
The world-famous Flamingo Lounge, you better believe it. A lot of the wrestlers hang up.
On 7th Avenue and what?
It's right off of Murfreesboro Road down there where it turns into whatever it is down. Anyway, it's a Flamingo. Go there. Ooh, the best hamburgers. The best hamburgers in town.
Well, Beverly cooks them.
Yes, and you know, the memorial we're doing also, we are going to induct Tojo Yamamoto.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing that. You know, Tojo, first time I ever met him was he come from Hawaii and went to Tampa, Florida. And then Tampa, he was there for a while, and he come to Nashville, and he wrestled here. Just like Herb, well, he fell in love with Nashville, and he stayed there. He was a partner with Jerry Jarrett for a while, and then I think with Eddie Marlin he was a partner.
Tojo was one of the greatest to ever grace a wrestling ring in Nashville, and I'm glad we're honoring him also. And the 12th one, you know this person pretty good, and I know you'll have a lot of nice things to say. The 12th and last inductee, ladies and gentlemen, for Thanksgiving night, Miss Cora Combs.
Oh, my goodness. Burt Prentice.
Oh, she's crying. Don't cry. Come here. That's okay. That's okay. Anyway, Cora Combs will be inducted into the Nashville Wrestling Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen. Thanksgiving night. Don't miss it. Come on, it'll be okay.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and I want to show you another great innovation in Craftsman hand tools. It's the Craftsman Quick Wrench, exclusively from Sears. The Quick Wrench is a combination wrench with a unique open-end design that makes it work like a ratchet. An ordinary open-end wrench has to be removed and repositioned after every turn. But the Craftsman Quick Wrench stays in continuous contact, making the job faster and easier. And what about those places where a ratchet and socket won't fit? That's where the Quick Wrench really comes in handy. It's made to reach right into tight spaces, and the ratcheting action gets the job done in no time. The Craftsman Quick Wrench can be used almost anywhere, in the garage, in the yard, and in your home. No toolbox is complete without a Quick Wrench set. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
Call now to order your set of 6 Craftsman Quick Wrenches in standard or metric for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Use your Sears card or other credit card and call 1-800-899-7711. Call right now.
With me now, Shane Eden, ladies and gentlemen. What do you mean?
Whoa. Every week I've been here, I have never had interview time.
But I'm here to talk to Shane Eden. Derek King, you're not even one of my full-time wrestlers. Shane.
You're here to talk to me. You had me wrestling a 300-pound farmer guy. Now you got this goof out here thinking he can be on TV.
He's one of my biggest stars. The
I'm
fans
the
love it.
star around here. This is nothing. I am these people know a star when they're seeing stars.
This is Derek King, obviously trying to steal your interview time. Please exit.
No. Still interview time. This is my time right now. I'm the star. This guy is nothing. You people watch me. You people shut up. You people watch me on TV, not this good. Oh.
Look at this. We have an impromptu match that has broken out right out of an interview. What's going to come up next, Paul Adams?
Well, I don't know if this is so much a match. What almost happened is Derek King almost went right out of the ring on that backdrop. I don't know if you can really call this a match so much as it's a brawl that broke out. There's no referee, and there's another backdrop.
And two young wrestling stars going right at each other. Shane Eaton was having an interview. Derek King interrupted. Later, we've got to take a break. We've got to take a break. We'll be back with more Music City Wrestling after this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a look at one of the most historic wrestling cards in the history, and I mean the long history of Nashville wrestling. 11 matches, Hall of Fame awards, everything's going to happen Thanksgiving night right here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena. The Thrillbilly will take on Blade Boudreaux. Style and Shane Eaton in a grudge match against Derek King. You'll see J.C. Ice, Jamie Dundee take on Sheikh Ahmed from Sudan. Canada's Andy Anderson will take on the WWF's DOA's 8-Ball. What a match that's going to be. Sherry Martel comes to Nashville to take on our own Princess D. Exotic Adrian Street with Miss Linda against Frenchie Riviera. And look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. The Shooting Stars going for the titles against the Centerfolds Thanksgiving night. A grudge match, ladies and gentlemen. This one is just brewing. Stephen Dunn against Rex King. And like I told you, there's 3 big main events this night. Main event number 1, title versus title. North American belt against the Southern belt. Colorado Kid taking on Terry Golden with Princess D in his corner. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's a special ladder match with a special referee, Jason Jarrett, when Wolfie D collides with Flash Flanagan in a ladder match. And that, you know, is brutal. And then the one, ladies and gentlemen, 30 feet in the air on a scaffold match between dangerous Doug Gilbert and Billy Joe Travis. They fight until one man falls off the scaffold. It's a scaffold match, and it's only in Nashville Thanksgiving night. Also, we will be inducting into the Hall of Fame Christine Jarrett, Jim White, Billy Wicks, Don and Al Green, Mac York, Herb Larson, Cora Combs, Paul Morton, Eddie Marlin, Tommy Gilbert, and a special memorial to Tojo Yamamoto. Don't miss Thanksgiving night. Be a part of wrestling history. With me now, Princess D and Terry Golden, the Southern Heavyweight Champion, who made short order work of Bobby Braun's tonight.
That's exactly right. It don't take long when you
ain't got to look no further. Right here I am.
Colorado Kid comes out here. The match is signed, Southern belt against the North American belt. We were just getting into this. You've agreed.
Let me tell you something, Colorado Kid. The thought crossed your mind, baby, that you might think that you was going to give me a kiss. Well, let me tell you something. Just because you can't find a woman, much less keep one, you're not going to put your hands on me because I'm a one-woman man, baby.
Well, let me tell you something. First off, you'd be lucky if I laid my lips on you, number one. Number two, Terry Golden, this is a pretty belt you have out here. But I know, and all these fans out here know, that this ain't the belt that you want. The belt that you want is the belt that I carry, the North American heavyweight belt, which is the top of the line.
Since you're stuttering, let me tell you something. We go back a long ways. Let me explain something to you in plain English that you might understand. That's it.
And now more mayhem in the ring, outside the ring. On Music City Wrestling today, another impromptu match between Colorado Kid and Terry Golden.
Well, this is more of the same. It seems like everybody that's scheduled to meet up at Thanksgiving this Thursday can't even wait to get there. They're trying to hook it up today on Music City Wrestling.
Terry Golden, you think you're going to come out here and slap me in my face and that's going to be it? It's a long way from being over, baby. Thanksgiving night, all my fans are going to be down here. We're going to line this place to the ceiling. I promise you, the crowd will be here. Terry Golden, when I get my hands on you, I'm going to break you. You'll be lucky that your teeth will stay in your mouth before this night's over.
Thanksgiving night, title versus title. Colorado Kid, Terry Golden. Don't you miss it.
On Thanksgiving night, November 27th, Music City Wrestling will present a holiday wrestling spectacular at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Don't miss the Tennessee Homecoming. Thanksgiving night, November 27th, only at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena.
This Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, a dangerous match for a dangerous man on a scaffold right here at the fairgrounds.
You know what, Michael? A lot of people say a lot of matches are real dangerous. You know what? I'm not going to come out here and I'm not going to scream and I'm not going to holler. I've done it weeks before, and has it paid off? You know what? Sometimes I think it has, and sometimes I think it hasn't. Well, let me tell you, Thanksgiving night, this Thursday night, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, not only is Dangerous Doug coming, my father's coming, my mother's coming. And let me tell you people one thing. You might not remember, I think most of you will, my brother Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, like they always say, they say heat rises. Well, you know what? When I'm in this Nashville Fairgrounds and I'm 30 foot straight up in that air, Michael St. John, higher than what that light is right there, somebody is going to fall. And you know what? Not only is somebody going to fall, Billy Travis, so help me God, if you think the name Gilbert has ever meant anything, you wait till this Thursday night, Thanksgiving. You people sit home and you eat your turkey, because believe me, I'm going to barbecue a turkey 30 foot in the air, and so help me God, Billy Travis. So help me God, if there's anything left of you after you fall 30 foot, if it don't break your neck, I'm going to jump straight off that scaffold and land right on your big fat head. And so help me God, Nashville, Tennessee, there will be no more Billy Travis, or there will be no more Dangerous Doug Gilbert. And that's a promise out of this mouth to every single person in TV land. You take that to the bank, Michael St. John.
Thursday night, Fairgrounds Arena, don't miss a gigantic card, including that 30-foot scaffold match between Dangerous Doug Gilbert and Billy Joe Travis. Thursday night here at the Fairgrounds Arena, Thanksgiving night, a most controversial match. First time ever in Nashville, Tennessee. In it, a most controversial man, the sweet music man, Billy Joe Travis.
Well, shut up for 1 minute. I'll talk about this. First of all, they talk about legends. Well, let me tell you something. Every one of the legends, they knew Moses personally. That's how old they are. Now, what I want to talk about, I don't want the scaffold over the ring. I want the scaffold right here. And let me tell you something, Doug Gilbert. I'm sick and tired of you talking about me and putting me down and telling what kind of people I'm a bad person. Well, punk, this Thursday night, you're going to be Thanksgiving when your big fat butt falls off. I want everybody to bring a box of crackers, Because when I pound you and I beat you, boy, we're going to eat you like a big roll of bologna. Punk. And don't you ever get in my face again. I never did like you, and I never will.
Billy Joe Travis, the most controversial match. The 30-foot scaffold in the ring. Somebody's going to fall. Somebody's going to lose big.